has been posted. Attendance roll call.
Mr. Strom is excused. Mr. Buckmaster is excused. We have 5 present. We have a quorum.
All right. Bob, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
Oh, here we are. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Any requested changes? Then what I'm going to do is move up item 7C to right after other reports. I'll just make it the first action item. Any objections to that? All those in favor of the agenda as discussed, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Consent agenda. Can I get a motion for consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Anything on consent agenda that needs separate discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the consent agenda say aye.
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 Opposed? Consent agenda passes unanimously. Student representation. Ms. Lucas.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
So, big wins happened for Muskego while we were gone. On October 29th, the MHS debate team competed at North Division High School in Varsity Public Forum, and Ellie Olson won an award for the 4th best speaker, and her teammate, Josh Waldock, also earned a leg to the state tournament with a winning record of 3 wins, 2 losses, and they placed 5th out of 16 teams. And then also on November 5th, they competed at West Bend East and West High School, and also, again, competed in Varsity Public Forum. And then next, we have musical auditions this week, which is very exciting, and I just wanted to put it in there because I'm really excited. And then also, as far as the MHS varsity cheer team goes, they placed 2nd in their competition at Eisenhower this past weekend. And the Muskego four-man, which is the black team, placed 2nd at the Muskego four-man, and the red placed 1st. And then also a classmate of mine, Tyler Mason, placed 1st in her individual routine, which is very exciting for them. And then also, I just wanted to mention that Drama Club put on this delightful play called Game of Tiaras this past weekend, which was very fun, and I got to see it, and I loved it a lot. And they did a wonderful job.
And wait. Any questions, sir?
Question. I always forget that. Questions.
Now you can leave. Thanks, Evan. All right, moving on with the agenda. Public forum. This is your opportunity to discuss any matters to the school board you want to bring attention to us. You're going once. Don't all rush up. Form a single file line. All right, moving on. Number 5, superintendent's report. Dr. Thompson.
Well, I'm delighted to introduce the Lake Danoon team to provide the board with their annual report. So you can introduce your team, Linda.
Good evening and welcome everybody. We're really happy to be hosting tonight and to talk a little bit about some of our work that we've done here, some celebrations, where we've been and where we're going, and then especially we'll have the 6th grade team come up and talk about some things they've done in literacy that have been even exceeded my expectations, and I knew they were going to do great things. So I really am proud for them to share their work with our students as well. Okay, the quality report was in your board packet, but I will also just highlight a few things. For the celebrations, I think a really great accomplishment from our school is of the 20 middle schools in the county, we tied for 3rd place in the math in the Wisconsin Forward exam. We're in a highly competitive county, and to be 3rd is a great honor, and it's really a compliment to our teachers and all the hard work they've done in that area, and learning about the math practices and really trying to implement them and help our kids become really good math thinkers. Another celebration, again, I appreciate the board's approval of 2 new courses. One was a robotics course, and we have 122 students enrolled there. A lot of 7th graders, but also 8th graders, since it was their last chance before being able to go to the high school to be able to take that. And that's been very successful. They're in a good place with that. And then you also approved a 6th grade dollars and cents. This is to complement, if you remember, the financial literacy classes that we offered, which is really more geared towards 7th and 8th. And this is very appropriate for 6th grade. And of our 6th grade, we had 57 enrolled. So that's, again, a nice number, about 25% to 30% of our kids enrolled in that. And we're hearing very good reviews from that as well. Parents commented at conferences how great it was that their kids were learning these kinds of concepts at this age. So when you think about where we've been, we were awarded a state grant to help close the gap between special ed and regular ed achievement. And it's a little tricky because we keep changing assessments. You're well aware of that. So I tried to think of like how can we even gauge how we're doing on this. So what we did is we took our average and the state average, because remember that's how we were chosen for the grant, because our students with disabilities, the percentile was only 8.3% proficient, where the state average was 13, higher, right? So that's something we've been working on, and actually 2 of the team members that are here tonight are also serve on the SPDIG team. So we've done a lot of trying to find the root cause of why could this be, and how can we close that gap. And as you can see, every year we've been improving, or we have improved, to now that we're above the state average in terms of the number of students in special ed that are proficient. Not satisfied with this number, but we are changing our ranking in the state, and we are outperforming the state, where earlier we were below the state averages. So we're feeling really good about the direction we're going, and it's telling us that our steps that we're taking are effective and positioning us better.
Good evening. So moving forward, just a few highlights in terms of our next steps, our path towards continued growth and progress. So one of the things last year we targeted was we wanted to increase our ratings on the parent satisfaction survey. So last year we had a goal. In 2015, we had our rating came back as 3.76. We had a goal set of 3.86, and we reached that last spring. Some of the themes that did come out of the feedback for us to continue to increase on that. One of them was just increased communication between school and home in terms of our RTI process. We have, when we get STAR assessment results and we have the universal screening meetings, there's times when a team comes together to discuss possible placement of a student within intervention, and even if they're not placed in intervention or we don't make any schedule changes, we want to at least let parents know if your son or daughter scored between the 40th and 30th percentile, here are some resources. Let's connect with teachers and get a team together before we have another conversation that might end up placing them in intervention. So that's one of the things we're looking at. Another thing, this is our second year of proficiency-based grading, and again, just continue talking points and communication between school and home in terms of making sure that we all understand the rationale behind that and how that works. Another thing we're looking at is to improve our student achievement measures. One of the themes that come back again last year with our student engagement survey was the idea of respect. And one of the specific survey questions was, students respect one another at our school. And so after a couple years of looking at those results, we do have a respect team with administrators and teachers that do meet every other month, and we're looking at not just getting awesome shirts, but also teaching students, about respect and respecting your environment. We started just with some hallway norms, and we started with teams, during their Wednesday collaboration meeting, checking in. when we're monitoring the hallway in 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, et cetera, are we seeing respectful behavior? Because in the past we've noticed that in those less structured times, that's when certain behaviors might surface. So then moving forward, our Respect team is continuing to develop a plan in terms of how we teach students about respecting one another and our differences. So that's an ongoing initiative. And we do have celebrations to bring forth with math, but we do obviously want to focus on reading as well, and we do have some work to do here. So in terms of reading achievement, Linda mentioned the grants we got from the state, and many things are coming out of that grant team that meets once a month. And some of the approaches are listed below here, talking about students with IEPs having short-term goals, where they're creating the goals, they're more invested, which obviously increases their efficacy and ownership of their learning. Coaching cycles with our instructional coaches, with career and technical education teachers, science and social studies, really embedding literacy in content areas so that students can get practice in reading and thinking and speaking like a historian or a biologist or whatever it might be. Targeted small group instruction using data to form groups and identifying those students' needs and tailoring instruction to that. And then co-teaching, of course, where regular education teachers and special ed come together to meet the needs of a wide range of learners. And that is an awesome transition to our 3 rock star 6th grade teachers here who are going to talk to you about 6th grade literacy and their co-teaching models.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Bowenton. I'm a 6th grade case manager for students with disabilities.
I'm Diana Antheline. I am a 6th grade literacy and social studies teacher.
And I'm Amanda Kapczynski, same thing, 6th grade literacy and social studies teacher.
So I'm first going to talk about kind of how our team was formed. As John and Linda talked about, part of our grant team, one of our strategies was to increase co-teaching in our school. And so last year, Diana and I co-taught literacy together. We had a group of 8 students divided into 2 different blocks. So every day we had common planning time with Amanda, and we would all sit and plan literacy together, and then we would go our separate ways and teach the same exact thing. And obviously we had more flexibility in our classroom having 2 of us, but there were still students with disabilities in Amanda's class without the 2 teachers, and so they were kind of missing out on some of the benefits of co-teaching, which you will hear about.
So when John and Linda came to us last year and presented us with the opportunity of teaching as a group of 3, we were really excited and decided to get on board with that right away. Not only did that support and go along with our initiative to grow co-teaching as a school, but it also allowed us to continue to be innovative in our practices and allowed us to reach individualized needs of all of the learners in our room.
So one of the things that we tend to do, like when we were co-teaching last year, just as 2 of us, we had some training that was provided to us on different types of teaching we could do and the way we can format ourselves in our teaching. So it gives some more opportunities for different small group instruction, but it also allows us to reach the kids in different ways. So a couple different strategies that we use. We do parallel teaching, which is where all 3 of us are teaching the same thing at the same time, but we take the group of students and we divide them into 3 so that it's not one big large group being taught that strategy. We can take them into 3 different places throughout the rooms and teach them the same thing but in a little bit smaller format. This year we've incorporated, so one of the things we've always struggled with literacy is there's a lot of standards to be taught. So we started incorporating stations into our instruction. So every Tuesday and Thursday we break the students into groups of 3 again, and they get some more focused grammar instruction, some more focused like vocabulary and word work instruction, and then the 3rd group is working on either a skill or a strategy that is in our current unit, or we're trying to incorporate some more nonfiction instruction and trying to make sure we're hitting those things when we're not in a nonfiction unit and we're in literacy or in a literature unit, so that way they're still getting that nonfiction instruction that they need as well. The 3rd one is when we're in our whole group instruction, we usually have one teacher who's leading the instruction for that, and then two that are supporting. So it's really helpful in that we're able to address behaviors immediately, because typically when one teacher's at the front of the room and there's 30 kids in front of you, it's really easy to get off task, especially when they're not in their seats and they all come up to the carpet and they're sitting by their friends. And not that it ever happens in 6th grade where we get those behaviors and they're poking each other, but we can quickly give the verbal cues or the body language and they see you and they stop pretty quickly. It helps with the anchor charts, because if I'm writing up what we're talking about on the anchor chart, Amanda or Sam can continue on with the conversation and ask some questions, other questions leading into the next thing we're talking about. So it kind of helps that transition of teaching become more fluent, and those pauses aren't always there as we're capturing ideas and thoughts.
Our small group instruction that we focus on is based on a lot of the different data points that we have. So we can base students based on responses to our common formative assessments that we give, some of the district universal screeners, and then also based on IEPs and different goals. So we have lots of different ways we can group the students. And this also, in our small groups, allows us to have a variety of different groupings to reach advanced learners and to reach students that need remediation.
As a special ed teacher, it's been really great in the co-teaching setting to be able to kind of expand on inclusion and just really make sure that students with IEPs are a part of the class. And one of the ways last year with a group of 30, we did some peer sensitivity trainings. We had a student with autism, and we brought in an outside organization who did a whole presentation, and it was really great, but then it was only given to 30 students. So now with this bigger class size, any kind of education on disabilities or anything like that we can reach a lot more kids this way. The other thing is a lot of the way special ed was historically is pulling out and teaching skills. This way with me in the classroom, I am able to teach some of the specialized instruction and skills that the kids need right in the classroom, which behavior, organization, those kinds of goals are really, it's really great to teach them in the classroom because it's a lot more of a realistic setting rather than taking them out and teaching them, this is how you work with a group. I get to teach them how to work with a group while they're working in a group. So that's been a really positive thing. We're also really working on building community and our initiative on kindness. We do wear our kindness shirts and do a lesson on bullying and just kind of different things like that. And so we've been able to reach all the kids. We have 2 different homerooms, but the kids don't even, if you ask them, a lot of them don't even know which homeroom they're in, which we think is pretty cool that we've done a good job of making sure we're all the teacher and just being united that way.
And then last but not least, our collaboration has increased tremendously because we're able to work more closely together. We're able to see, come do our planning, go teach it all together, and then come back and refine. So the way we're set up right now is we teach a literacy class. So we have our collaboration in the morning. So we have a good chunk of time before school to sit down and talk about things and go through whatever we need to talk about for the day or for the week or for the unit or what have you. We teach a lesson to our first literacy class. We have prep right after that, so we're able to sit back down together and talk about what went well, what didn't go well, sometimes even make the changes that need to be made. There was an instance one day we were teaching, and in the middle of it, we just kind of looked at each other like, this isn't going as we planned. So we quickly changed right there, but then we were able to reflect right away, and then for the next literacy class, make the changes that we made immediately then and talk about what didn't go well, why didn't it go well. And we felt successful the second time around because we were able to make those changes quickly. With the 3 of us, it definitely helps having 3 brains at it rather than just one. It's amazing how you can sometimes just see those students looking at you like, I don't get it, and someone else can jump in and re-explain it in a different way, and you can say, oh, okay, I get it. And it helps just as a teacher, too, to learn from each other and how to explain things and how to reach everybody. Having the special ed teacher at the table with us has helped tremendously as well with modifications and accommodations, not just for the special ed students, but for our regular ed students as well, in that we can, she can see things that sometimes we can't see, and she's like, well, what about this with them? And, oh, okay, yeah, and so it's really brought us some new ideas and new ways to reach all of our learners and help everybody. So.
Thank you.
as you can see, they're doing great work. So any questions for them or for us on any of the earlier quality reports?
So do you do assessments right in the classroom then for the IEPs, or do you pull them out? Are they pulled out for anything, I guess?
There are students that do still have pull-out reading and math and writing in the afternoon.
Okay.
We're kind of, as a special ed department, I think, really trying to take a good look at those students and is it really necessary to pull them out? The assessments, as far as like STAR and Forward, there are some students that are still pulled out for that small group setting, but the classroom assessments are all done in class.
So you've listed a lot of positives, and it sounds like you're having some great successes. Are there any negatives that you've had to overcome because of this?
We were talking about that beforehand, actually, trying to reflect upon, is there something that we've seen that hasn't been working so well yet? And we can't think of any one pinpointed thing that hasn't gone kind of the way we wanted it to. There are definitely times, like Diana was saying, where we'll teach a lesson and something isn't going well, no matter whether it's based on students picking up on what we're trying to get at, whether it's that one person is explaining it a little more clearly than the other. But I think one thing that's worked really well in those situations is that there are students that tend to gravitate towards one or another of us based on certain strengths or based on how someone explains it to them. There's also been a lot of times where somebody might be answering a student's question or helping them specifically, and the other two of us don't even notice because we're able to work with other students at the same time. So it has been nice that if there are things that haven't been working, there's somebody to kind of jump in and manage that.
I would say in comparison of co-teaching last year with a group of 30 compared to this large group, hold on, I had a thought and now we're just sort of...
I'll jump in.
I remember. Okay, is that Diane and I tried some of the different formations of teaching, and we always kind of resorted back to like one lead and one support. But with that big group, after the first couple days of the large group, we kind of saw a need for just like splitting them up and just splitting the period up, getting them moving, stations, different locations in the room, stuff like that.
One thing we've been surprised about is how well the students adapted to this environment. Like we had not a lot of parent concerns, but like when you walked in and see this like big hole in the wall and they were like, oh, well, how's this going to work? We have been very pleasantly surprised at how well students just do what they need to do. Expectations were set and we really haven't had to overcome the problems or even like attention things with 60 kids in one room. It's easily just, distractions come up, but they really just do what they need to do and get their work done. And
So good teachers will make difficult things sound easy, and that's what Diana's doing now. I mean, it is a credit to their consistency and clear expectations, because I've been in there, kind of my first thought too is, ooh, 60 in a room, how's that look? And it looks really good.
What percent of the kids have IEPs that are in there?
It's 4 out of 60 in both of the blocks, so
Okay.
8 out of 120. I'm not a math
That was right.
whereas, for example, last year we had 8 out of 30.
Out of 30? Okay.
So we had a lot of challenges at one point last year.
Anyone else have any questions? Linda, I got one question that I guess for you. So you have these 3 all-stars that are doing this. Is this a model that you can plug in with, the general staff, and where you don't handpick your 3 that this is going to work with?
These 3 were the natural starting point, because no matter when I was in the hallway, the 3 of them were together, whether they planned to be or not. They just naturally gravitated to each other to bounce off ideas. So that was the natural first group, and as they worked their way through and some of the advantages, as far as we do have co-teaching at every grade level, they are definitely the furthest along with it. So I think they've got a nice pathway to show and certainly can speak to some of the successes of the co-teaching model.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you. Okay, we have our annual report from Jeremiah, who will be providing us with some information on the buildings and grounds. So while he gets set up, you can open up the document titled 16-17 B&G presentation to the board.
In theory.
Yeah. He'll be ready sooner than you will be, I think.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Well, it's been a busy time, and it will be a busy time in buildings and grounds, so I just appreciate the opportunity to share with everybody. And so there'll be a lot of information. If there's anything you have questions on, just fire away. I think all of us, including the schools, really appreciate the opportunity to meet with you guys and share out our progress. And according to this wise quote, the rate of improvement will accelerate when we share out progress. So thanks for the opportunity. I just passed out a sheet if you guys wanted to refer back, but just some celebrations, even outside of all the building that will be happening. Within our departments, and actually within the district, we've been focusing a lot on engagement, and our customer satisfaction engagement, which is parents, staff, and teachers, all combined in the last year was up 16%. We've had a lot of contracted savings, and I'll touch on that momentarily. This past year, we saved $375,000 on savings. Employee engagement from our staff is up 6%. The cost of square foot to operate our schools is down 42%. Insurance premiums are down 22% as far as our workers' comp premiums. We've reduced workplace injuries by 50%, which has just been huge, and we're really thankful for the participation of the entire staff for that. We've reduced our overtime by 50%. We've increased revenue by $17,000 this past year, which is actually really cool because Lake Point Church was a big renter of our facilities, but we were able still to bring in additional funds and even build relationships with some of our youth programs that helped us redo our gym floors at the high school. We've had a ton of emergency repairs that you guys have been familiar with. I'll touch on those momentarily, but we were able to support most of that through either insurance claims or the operations budget. We've been growing leaders throughout the state, so actually tonight's kind of a sad night, but bittersweet for me, but Brian Groshek, who is the operations manager for the district, so works right directly under me, has been hired on as the building and grounds guy for McGuanago. So tonight he's meeting with the school board, and so we'll be looking to replace him with the next rock star. And then it was really cool. Last year we hosted 2 statewide conferences for facility management and safety. So one was usually they will bring in, WASBA will bring in schools that are brand new, newly constructed, and they'll show them off to the states. And obviously we don't have any new construction, so it was really cool to be able to just show off our staff. And typically when we have those conferences, they'll bring in professionals to teach the classes. And it was really humbling that we actually had our own custodians teaching classes during that. And then we also had one on after-school security, which is a big issue throughout the state, so we're trying to really champion the way we operate after schools, especially knowing how often we operate after school. In talking about engagement, sometimes we think of engagement as, being happy at work or school, and really engagement, the definition of it is discretionary effort, and I like to say, if I put a ping pong table in every break room, is that going to make people enjoy their jobs anymore? Really, engagement is having people really loving and passionate about what they do, so much so that they go far beyond what's expected of them to do just in their normal job. And I think all of us understand that a little bit. So this past year, we had the construction of a patio at the high school, which all the guys kind of came together and just chipped in within their schedules to get that done. And I believe we saved close to $20,000 to self-perform the work. We have several custodial staff that are the mascots at their school, which has been really cool. We've got a lot of accolades for our field, our football field, and the programs that are happening there. And our guys are applying for awards throughout the state for that field. We also have a head custodian that does interventions with students. And again, a few of our staff are teaching at conferences around the state as it relates to facility management. We had some contracted reductions last year, so we're self-performing more work, which historically over the last decade we've contracted out a lot of our work. So mixed landscaping was a reduction. F&W mowing, we now do the mowing at the high school. Our HVAC contracts were reduced, and we rebid all of our cleaning products, which we do on a 3-year rolling schedule. We also restructured our plowing contract, which allows us flexibility. So they now charge us per site, per snow. So if our guys are free and not doing work orders, they can head out and start plowing, and we would then be able to take that site off of the bill. whereas before they just charged us per hour and per salt. So really it was kind of an open contract, so now it's a little more tight. So we'd like to try to gain some efficiencies there by doing more plowing ourselves. And then last year was the first year in a decade that we had a maintenance department. So we have two guys that performed $87,000 worth of maintenance work requests. And in addition to that, during the summer, they're then grounds guys. So they work on the grounds and take on a lot of those duties. So you may ask, where are all these savings going? We had a $44,000 elevator repair at the high school at the end of last school year. We've done 10,000 LED light tubes, and we just kind of keep plugging away at them. In order to get a focus on energy credit, we have to have them installed within a month of purchasing. So we can't just order $1 million worth if we even have that many. We just keep going slowly but surely, and I'll talk about the savings there. We did the gym floor restoration at the high school last year, which is awesome. New AEDs at all the sites. We had the pipe leak, of course, from last year, which was huge. We have two new programs in our system. We have Raptor, which has been fully implemented at all sites and has been effective for our district. And also we've just started with an app called Crisis Manager, which will put all of our crisis plans onto an app for staff to download to their phones and have quick access to in the event of emergency. What we're finding is when there's an emergency, not everybody's diving to get a binder. So this hopefully, many people have smartphones and be able to access our plans. I just wanted to touch on the workman's comp, just to dive a little deeper as far as our loss ratios. So as we all know, insurance companies always have to win. So in 2012, 92% of our premium was spent on injuries in the district, totaling $251,000. Over the next few years, we see a steady decrease. And this year, we're knocking on wood. We're at 9.8%, so we still have 7 months to go. But with that, we would drop off this year from our premium in the following year. It's a 3-year kind of aggregate. So doing really well there. So we've been doing all these LEDs, and I just wanted to report on how much is where and how much it's saving. So the high school, we've done about 10%. We did all of the halls and the parking lots, and we're saving about $2,500 a month, or 10,000 kilowatts. Bay Lane, we're about 95% complete. We were able to gain a lot there because each of the light fixtures have 4 light tubes in them, and we were able to go down to 2 light tubes with the same lumen output, but reduce like hundreds of watts just in a single light bank. So we're saving $1,900 a month there. Lake Danoon, we're about 20% done here, so we have a lot more to do here, and about $2,000 savings. Lakeview was our first school that was 100% LED, and we saved about $1,000 a month there. And Mill Valley is similar. So as fast as we can put them in is as fast as we can save. And as you can see, the high school being 10% done, we have, sky's the limit there to just keep plugging away at those. So the total monthly savings is about $8,000.
Jeremiah, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So first, we're at 10% in the high school, and we've saved $2,500 a month?
Yeah.
Would it make sense just to hire somebody just to get that done, like temporary or someone? Because it seems like we're losing money by not doing that.
Motion to approve getting it done.
If you're going to put that off for so long, you want to look at that and present something to us.
Sure. Yeah, I'm open to it.
What's the cost?
Probably be about $40,000 to $50,000 to do that. The thing that we are doing there is we're prioritizing the highest level of things. So the outside lights were like 400 watts, and we're going down to 40. And the hall lights are always on, and the gym lights are always on. So we're just kind of picking away at the highest priority areas first.
And I'm not talking about hiring a company. I'm saying hire somebody on staff temporarily.
Oh, sure.
It should probably be a fraction of that.
Sure. Yeah. Great suggestion. To touch on the 4-day work week during the summer, so we've been doing that for 3 years now, so we have a pretty steady trend. The one thing we did notice is an uptick in utilities since we started increasing summer school programming of about $18,000. So really just trying to find where we were at then and where we're at now and the things that have changed. We were saving about $25,000 a summer because of the 4-day work week. So in the end, when you create a delta of that, we're saving about $7,000 a summer, or about $22,000 over 3 years when you looked at just the 9 pure months over 3 years. So it's working. Just wanted to touch on the construction timeline. I'll try not to read this all because you guys all have it in front of you, but just to let everybody know, we're on schedule. We're going to be having a community meeting where we'll be meeting at Tudor Oaks Retirement Community, and anybody that's in the surrounding area of the new middle school will be able to come and ask questions about our property, whether they live in Franklin or in Muskego. December, we'll have 50% of the design complete for the new middle school, and we'll be going to bid shortly after. We're going to bid package in 3 different packages to get more competitive pricing so that it's not just one lump thing going out to everybody. People will be able to really digest what we're putting out for bid, and the bids will be due accordingly. It is important that soon after the bids come in that we do proceed to keep everything on a timeline, and we'll be breaking ground this April. This is just a concept picture of Mill Valley, which is probably one of our more complicated projects for this upcoming summer. So immediately after bids come back, we'll start on the far west section of the building, which will run until about the holiday season of next year. This May, we'll start on the southern section of classrooms, which will also go till the following year. Over the summer, we will be unoccupied because we'll be doing sprinkler systems in the entire existing building. And then over the holiday break next year, we'll be demoing the old section of the building and relocating those classrooms into some of the newer ones, which will be finished for that time frame. And we'll also be building a wall, which will separate the cafeteria area from any of the construction sites. So a lot of moving parts there, but C.G. Schmidt has a pretty good pulse on what it takes to work within an occupied environment. Middle school construction is similar. We'll be having bids due back this early spring. The structure and the enclosure are looking to be completed by not this upcoming March, but the following, and substantial completion around July, which time we'll be moving everything into the new facility. Lakeview, we're going to bid out in February and complete this upcoming summer. And that's just the parking lot. Bay Lane, we'll be splitting into 2 summers, so this upcoming summer and the following summer we will be unoccupied at Bay Lane, which means that we'll be moving summer school to Lake Danoon. We'll be having asbestos abatements all this upcoming summer, and for many of the areas we'll be leaving the floors raw, concrete, except for in the elementary school, just because they'll come back the next summer and be able to take the time to finish it, given the amount of work that has to get done this summer. And then next summer we'll be relocating all the furniture and such to the new school. So a couple other major capital needs that the Master Planning Committee identified. I just wanted to touch on those as they're still pressing. So the high school last year used 329,000 gallons of water and sewer, and 94,000 gallons of that were lost to a leak in the high school pool. And we have a makeup meter that helps us determine that data. And just for a little visual of that, I know that the Mugwanago School District lost a similar amount of water in a month. It was 10,000 gallons in a month. And they found a high-capacity toilet running for the entire month. It was just swirling down. So as we speak right now, that's happening to the pool. That cost on all of our utilities is about $8,700 a year. And then there's a chart of the by-month water losses. And I can't tell you why it's fluctuating. So when we had the pool emptied this summer, which we do each summer, there's these depressions. They don't show well on the screen, but there's thousands of these, and they're probably the size of a 50-cent piece all around, just showing the compression of the liner. And then there's these stress cracks that are starting to form throughout. So it's really not a question of if, it's a question of when. And then, of course, there's the stadium and the turf that was brought up by the Master Planning Committee. And just a quick drone shot from August when our field looked amazing to after one of our Friday night, Saturday playing on it kind of created just a real mess. This was really the day before homecoming. So obviously we'd be able to get more participants on the field and not have to spend as much into the infrastructure of the grass. I just wanted to touch on, as I'm learning more about putting in turf and the process of what it would cost and how to go about that, and knowing that we have to do something to address the track, to just patch the track, which I'm planning on doing this spring, is going to be about $9,000. To go add a layer over it would be $54,000. However, the current base really wouldn't hold an extra layer over it, so that'd be throwing good money at bad money or a bad project. It'd be $180,000 to scrape the entire track and add the correct amount of surface. However, looking at turf throughout the area and what we would have to do to install field turf on the football field is have a concrete footing that would run around the interior of the track. And we can't just throw that down onto our existing track because there's waves in our track. So if we threw turf there and then the track here, you would see those waves throughout. And if we ever went to replace the turf, then it would have to mirror the image of that wave. So it's really important that the projects happen at the same time. And to do that, it's about $300,000 to completely redo the track and install the curbing. And I think, as far as I'm hearing for turf, it'd be about $600,000.
That's using the same base for the track?
I assume so, yeah. So for the capital plan, we do have great news, as I was able to pick away, and the capital plan is attached to the board docs, really shorten the list based upon taking most of Mill Valley's needs off, Muskego Elementary, Test Corners, and a lot of Bay Lane. It was really millions of dollars, and it's now a manageable list of things that we can actually put dates to as far as when we can complete them and the priorities in which they should be completed. In addition to that, from all those contracted savings that I talked about earlier, we would like to add $150,000 to the capital fund. So traditionally we spent $400,000. Moving forward, I would recommend that we spend $550,000. Best practice is to spend $1 per square foot, and so that would mean we should be spending $800,000 a year. So I think $550 gets a little bit closer to that without having to break the bank anywhere. In the next couple of years, so I talked about foregoing roofing here because we need to occupy it for summer school. So that would be this upcoming summer. The following summer, I'm almost proposing that we do nothing and take advantage of Fund 46, which is in place so that we can take an amount of money and roll it over till the next year. So I'd ask that we put that $550 for the following summer into Fund 46, and then come back in 2019 and finish the roof here, which is approximately $1 million left. And so hopefully with inflation and everything, that would stay accurate. The following year, I'd like to do AC at Lakeview, and the year after that, address the parking lot at the high school is starting to heave in some spaces. So in looking at Lake Danoon, this is Lake Danoon from above. What we've done so far, we did in 2014 the area above the admin offices. This past summer we did 2 very big wings, one coming off northeast, and then our east side wing. So the red is what we would have remaining to do over the next, which I would propose to do in 2019. So for this summer, this is the itemized areas that surfaced. The tennis courts do need to be resurfaced and painted. They're getting slick, they're growing algae, they're puddling. So to do that is about $87,000. In about 2026, a consultant or an engineer recommended that we redo, completely pulverize, which will help to correct a lot of the heaving that we have going on. The heaving picture here is actually where the tennis nets are. And naturally, those will come up no matter where you're at as far as tennis courts go. And what we have done is we've sealed the cracks. This is the second time in 3 years. These expansion joints are strategically placed in between the courts to allow for growth. So we continue to patch those, but as time goes on, those will get further apart naturally. The chillers here at Lake Danoon have a lifespan of 15 years, and we're continuing to spend more and more money on them. This past year, I think we spent $10,000 just a couple months ago on some motors for the chillers here. The parts are becoming obsolete, and the recommended solution would be 23% more efficient and come with a $15,000 focus on energy credit. That number is wrong. I since got an update. It's about $160,000. The high school sidewalks, I propose that we finish out the main areas. So 2 summers ago, we did the entire east stretch. What we didn't hit was the area in front of the PAC and the area on the north end of the school. We're estimating it to be about $50,000, but since we did some concrete work this past summer in-house, some of our guys have offered to try to do this PAC piece possibly in-house, which would save from this amount. The only thing left after that would be in front of the athletics entrance, which right now is in pretty decent shape. Recommend replacing our dump truck. It's over 20 years old, has a whole lot of needs for it, and the dump box is rotting out. From the picture here, this is actually when you get into the truck, you can see through onto the ground below. And this picture doesn't show well up here, but this is where the pins go in, so when the box comes up to dump, that's starting to rot out, so you fear the day, obviously, that the box just drops off. This is critical to our plowing operations during the winter. We fill this entire bed with salt and salt as much as we can. And the more we salt, the more we don't have to pay somebody else to salt. One thing we've wanted to add is a fire lane here at Lake Danoon, just an asphalt path to complete out the north end of the school. So when there's a fire drill here, kids don't walk out into a 3-foot snowbank or anything like that. That allow emergency access in the back of the building and also allow for kids to get out onto a plowed path when it is wintertime. We need a new camera server. I'll just leave it at that. It's about $13,000. We currently have 2 servers. We can consolidate down to 1 with more storage. We've started putting money into our varsity baseball warning track. If you look behind the home plate, we've started to do red granite throughout. This has helped with drainage and to get the water out. Mr. Kuby has told me that they've had to cancel games because the outfield has been flooded. So we'd like to continue that throughout the outfield just to complete this project. This is a little bit tough to see on the screen, but at Bay Lane, actually this is Country Meadows on the far east side of the school, that ramp that comes out onto the playground. What this is a wall and the ramp coming down, but there's a lip here where the bricks are actually starting to tilt away from the ramp. So we'd like to come in and fix all of the masonry there. We continue our every 3-year seal coating, so we would do the high school, Bay Lane, and the ESE parking lots, and that's to extend the life of our current parking lots, which are our second largest asset next to roofing. I talked a little bit earlier about the ability to buy back more plowing. To do that, we need more trucks. So we have a truck here at Lake Danoon and a truck at Bay Lane. And really what we've found is that we could replace those trucks here with these gators, which they could do their sidewalks with. And then the trucks themselves could go to the high school where our 2 maintenance guys could go out and hit as many places as they can in order to reduce the plow bill. On average, we pay about $100,000 a year for plowing. So anything that we could take back is just less money that's on the bill and more that our guys can do to contribute to that. And then just kind of an itemized list from top to bottom of all the needs. I've got 1 bid for each of the line items, but that would be the worst case scenario for each of those things. We'll competitively bid out each thing, and maybe all of them come under, or about where that's at.
Any questions for Jeremiah?
I do. So don't take this the wrong way. You're doing a great job. Your suggestion is you're bringing all this stuff like plowing in-house and everything like that. Are you talking about adding people by doing that?
No, we relocated 2 custodians to a maintenance grounds position, hybrid. Kind of, they will clean if somebody's absent, or when not, then they'll be doing maintenance or plowing or grounds work. And it's worked out really good this past year. And visiting back that first couple slides where we're saving $89,000 in maintenance requests. So those guys would be free to get in plows rather than go do a work order, essentially. But we'd be working with existing staff.
Okay. Because it just begs the question of what are they doing now? Do they have that much extra time to be doing all this extra stuff? So.
No, they were custodians before, and you guys gave us permission to hire 2 part-time workers to fill for them. They work all day in grounds. We do nearly 5,000 work orders a year, and nobody's idle. They can continue.
Any other questions?
One suggestion, when and if you ever bring forward actual proposals to purchase this, just do an ROI that you're showing the board, a return on investment.
Sure.
It costs this, here's what we're saving, and include everything in it.
Okay.
Just to justify what you're doing.
Sure. Anything in particular, or just
probably a good policy for almost anything if you're talking about bringing stuff in
Sure.
versus outsourcing. I mean, there's a reason years ago that a lot of this stuff was outsourced because at the time with contracts and everything else, it just deemed cheaper and more flexible to able to outsource to a contract, you should, be quicker on your feet with making changes.
Yeah.
And if times have changed through different reasons, both political and economic, justified.
Sure. I'd agree with that, and I'd agree if we didn't have a staff that could accomplish what we're doing, it would be very easy to contract and just everybody, contractors go do what you do. But thankfully we have a staff that is just high performing.
Yeah, no, and, it is, I'll say this also, generally people don't notice your department type of thing. I get compliments on the stuff you do all the time, and that never happened before, so you're doing a good job, and the community's noticing it, so.
Thanks for your guys' support. Thanks for bringing me on.
What is your, that retire old dump truck, what's that used for?
Right now we use it for hauling any kind of surfacing out to all of our fields, but then also during the winter salting, just all day.
So is that kept here at the high school?
It's kept at the high school, yeah, in a garage in the house.
Well, I would think that that's something you want to bring to us immediately, because that looks like a safety issue. So out of what you have up there, I'm not too sure we want our employees using a product or a piece of equipment that appears to be relatively unsafe.
Anything else? Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay, so next up is a current state of our literacy and social studies review. So Christy and Dawn will be going through an update on those content areas which are up for their 7-year review right now.
Yes, so Christy and I wanted to just give you a quick update on the status of that work for this year. And we attached a memo for you with this agenda item. And if you just take a brief look at the first and second page, that represents the members of staff, including teachers and administrators on the literacy review team, as well as the social studies review team. And we have grade level representatives from the elementary and middle levels from every building, as well as from the high school, from each of those departments. We have coaches, instructional coaches and literacy coaches also joining us for this work. So we're feeling really good about the representation on these teams and the input and voices along the way through participation. If you look at the top of page 3, Dr. Thompson mentioned that both literacy and social studies are in the plan phase of the review cycle. So we operate in the curriculum area as well as across the system with that PDSA process, the Plan, Do, Study, Act, and this chart guides our work. And so if you look under the red box that indicates what are the activities that should occur during the plan phase, they're listed there. And during this time, we are looking to really describe what's the current state of those curricular areas, identify a desired state, and then develop action plans to bring forward to you near the end of the year. So Christy will just talk about what we've completed to date.
Yep. So at the beginning of the school year, we worked on recruiting educators from all levels to participate on both the social studies and literacy review committees. And while that was happening, Dawn and I completed classroom walkthroughs during the month of September to gauge a current state of instructional practice. And at our first meeting with both the literacy and social studies teachers, we had a lot of data that we started to look at. It was actually a 4-hour meeting in which we looked at first data from our community survey, and that was work, if you recall, that we completed this summer when we looked at redefining our vision for a graduate and what our community, what our parents, and what our educators feel are most appropriate and most important for students to leave our system with. We also took a look at the data that Dawn and I collected during the month of September during our classroom walkthroughs. We conducted a survey with our teachers on their own instructional practice, their knowledge of and comfort with the Common Core and the ACT standards, and information about what they're doing that is working and areas that they see for improvement. After we analyzed all of those, we identified key themes in all of the surveys and the different data points. And from there, we took a look at a scope and sequence document, K-12, in the area of literacy and social studies and the standards related to those two content areas. And we had teams look at each standard one by one to identify where do they teach and assess the standard, where do they just teach the standard but don't assess it, and where are they not teaching or assessing it. And what that helps us with is we're able to see if there's standards that we're not teaching and assessing. And then when we pair that with our assessment data, we can find out if we have curricular gaps. And that was very helpful. Some highlights that came out of that is a lot of our social studies teachers are teaching and assessing literacy standards, which literacy is a natural place in a social studies classroom anyway, and that was really positive. In the area of literacy, some of the strengths were reading informational text, and that's been a focus of our district for several years, so that was really good to see. Some opportunities for improvement that came out of that was in the area of social studies. We identified that most of our social studies curriculum focuses on the history standards, but in the area of social studies, there's behavioral standards, behavioral science standards, geography, as well as history, and financial literacy. So we saw that as an opportunity for us to take a look at, is that really the direction that we want to go with just history standards, or do we have to revise our curriculum? And in the area of literacy, one of the areas that the team identified as an opportunity for improvement was language or grammar instruction. And so those are some things that we're going to be conducting more studies and research on. Following that, we started to conduct research and best practice. And that was just a recent meeting just a couple weeks ago where we looked at John Hattie's work and in a book called Visible Learning. And then we also coupled that with Hanover research. And through that, we discovered effect sizes for the best practice that's out there according to the research. What we're really excited about is a professional development that we have coming in December. You guys remember AVID at the high school and the presentation you heard at the last board meeting. AVID is not just a class, an elective class, but it's actually a system. And within that system, they have areas where they focus on literacy instruction, where they focus on math instruction, where they focus on organization. These are all different components that build what AVID is. And as we took a look at the literacy instruction in particular and the professional development that AVID has available and cross-referenced it with the best practice research by John Hattie and the Hanover, AVID has all of those things embedded in it. And so we're bringing in 2 sessions for our committee team members in the month of December to be trained and then also to assess those strategies. So we're pretty excited about that. So our next steps are to look at that professional development coming up next month, review any additional research, like I said, in the area of the history standards and the grammar instruction. And then we're going to be doing some work with ACT standards and crosswalking that down, not just at the high school level, but down to 3rd grade, and what those standards look like at different levels. Following that, we'll be bringing something to you in the spring in terms of where the team wants to take this work next year. So more to come on that, but it's really exciting where we're going so far.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions? Wonderful. You have a strong team that's working alongside you, so it's fabulous.
I just have one question about the entire plan do study, which is great. We're constantly reviewing it. So kind of looking at the approximate years it takes, it's anywhere from 10 to 15 years to go through the whole cycle. What do we accomplish in that 10 to 15 years? Do we go through like a whole almost paradigm shift, or are we tweaking? And is there a way maybe being a little quicker on just some of the little stuff? Do we do that? Or
Yes, that's a great question. And if you look at the PDSA cycle, and I see where you were doing the math down in the bottom, the bottom chart. The
Yes.
top chart actually has us moving through a review cycle about every 7 years.
Okay.
And the numbers in the bottom chart are approximates. If it's a very intense plan phase, we might spend 2 years on that, but then we might move to implementation over the course of a year. During the study and act phase, that's kind of, I believe, what you're referring to. Once we implement, we're going to bring recommendations to you at the end of this year, as Christy mentioned. Those will be the things that we move forward with and implement or do next year. Once we've completed that phase, we're in the study act, so we're constantly watching the data, watching student performance, monitoring student growth, and we have the ability to act on something that might seem amiss or make adjustments cycling through those remaining years of the PDSA process before we move to a full plan. An example, we implemented our reading units of study 6 years ago, I think it was. After we went through our first year of implementation, we noticed some things that we wanted to adjust within the units and moved very quickly with some summer curriculum work with teachers and literacy coaches to embed additional standards within those units. So no, we don't wait the full cycle to make changes if needed.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Comments? Great. Okay, well, thank you very much. The next item is the WASB Joint Convention. Just a reminder, and if you're interested in attending, let Darlene know and she can sign you up, and she has some information there for you as to the layout of the convention. So, and you'll notice in item F, the contributions to the profession, a couple of items that Muskego Norway would be part of as far as those presentations that day. The final agenda item is the presentation of the blue ribbon. So Jeff is off the plane from last week in DC, accepting on Muskego Elementary's behalf, along with a few other people, the blue ribbon. So the stage is yours if you want to share a little experience for you. But first, actually, Jeff, we have a presentation of a, we'll come up in the front here, Jeff, and then a recognition for you.
Chris, I wear my glasses. So we have a resolution for the board. And Muskego Norway School Board gratefully acknowledges the achievement of Assistant Superintendent Jeffrey Peterson for his contributions to a quality education during his former position as principal of Muskego Elementary School. Muskego Elementary School received the prestigious honor of being named a National Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education in September 2016. This award was presented to an elite group of only 279 public and 50 private schools across America. This is a tremendous accomplishment that exhibits exemplary leadership and guidance which Jeffrey Peterson provided to his staff, along with the care and commitment he displayed for the district's mission, every student learning, growing, and succeeding. In recognition of this great honor brought to the Muskego Norway School District and its community, the Muskego Norway School Board hereby grants Assistant Superintendent Jeffrey Peterson the opportunity to participate in an all-expense-paid national education conference of his choosing while employed during the 2016-17 or 2017-18 school years. The board further extends the invitation to Mrs. Peterson or a guest of his choice. Thank you, Assistant Superintendent, former Principal Jeffrey Peterson, for this tremendous accomplishment. Congratulations.
Can we get one picture where you're kind of like...
Yeah. Well, While Jeff gets the presentation, he has just a short one. Just know that Robin Schroet will also be kind of highlighting the blue ribbon when the board attends the Muskego Elementary rotating board meeting. So also, just as a reminder, there is a celebration at Muskego Elementary on December 2nd at 2:30. So if you are available and interested in attending, we would love to have you there to share in this rare and exceptional award. So, Jeff.
So, thank you very much. I would love to be able to take credit for such an amazing accomplishment, but certainly that isn't the right credit. It certainly goes to our teachers and to our students and to our parents for just an incredible journey over many years of hard work. So with that said, I really would like to just share with you what the Blue Ribbon is so that people out in our community have a better understanding of what the Blue Ribbon is and really the journey that Emmy took. So just quickly, just a few minutes, Blue Ribbon really is a recognition by the U.S. Department of Education. And it honors both public and private schools. And in particular, it's changed over time. When Country Meadows earned the Blue Ribbon, they actually were recognizing high achievement, and then also, oh my goodness, it slips my mind now, but gap closing growth now is the other way that we can achieve the Blue Ribbon. So with that said, there's a process that's involved in recognition of Blue Ribbon. And DPI annually, Wisconsin DPI annually will recommend schools that potentially could earn the Blue Ribbon from the U.S. Department of Education. And, DPI's reputation is really on the line. So they're taking a look at achievement results from the previous year's assessment. So Muskego Elementary, they were looking at the 2014-15 achievement results from the Badger assessment. And we are extremely happy to say that the Badger results for Muskego Elementary, both 3rd and 4th grade in 2014-15, were some of the highest across the entire state of Wisconsin, which is what DPI recognized. But also I said that the reputation is on the line. In other words, they looked at the trend results of Muskego Elementary, and they knew that that school was performing at a very, very high level. So they felt like this is a tremendous school to recognize for the Blue Ribbon, and they felt like the Department of Education, it would stand a good chance to become a Blue Ribbon school. So after DPI makes a recommendation, the school completes an application. It's a pretty rigorous process. Input from staff, input from parents and students in that particular application. And then once we submit it to the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., they take a look at the application, let you know if you're ready to move on to that next phase, or they may just stop it right then and there and say, as a school, thank you for submitting this, but you haven't met the criteria in the application to move on to be recognized as a Blue Ribbon school. Muskego Elementary, fortunately, continued to move through the process. And then the next hurdle to overcome was annual yearly progress. So just because Muskego Elementary or Country Meadows a few years back were recognized, we still had to make annual yearly progress on the state assessment. In other words, we got the recognition, but now you have to perform again, our students did, so that there's that level of accountability. You're high achieving, but can you do it again for another year? Muskego Elementary did meet that criteria, and then the announcement was made in September. So it's really interesting to note in Wisconsin that we have 2,200 public schools, about. We have 900 private schools. If you do the math, that's 3,100 schools, roughly, in the state of Wisconsin. And this past year, 8 schools in Wisconsin received the Blue Ribbon. But what's really important to note, and what we're really proud of as a system and as the Muskego Elementary staff, Muskego Elementary was the only school in the entire state of those 8 schools that received the Blue Ribbon for high achievement. So those other 7 schools, if you recall earlier, I mentioned you can receive the blue ribbon for gap closing or for high achievement. So Muskego Elementary was the only school in the state of Wisconsin to be recognized as a blue ribbon school for high achievement. No surprise given the work that's being done there. That's pretty amazing. So how amazing is it? Nationwide, when you think about it, there are only 329 schools across the entire nation that received the blue ribbon this past year. And any given year, it could be more or it could be fewer. Here's the thing. We were talking with people at the various tables, and it was a great opportunity to network in Washington, D.C. with different administrators, teachers, superintendents. It was a phenomenal trip to learn from and to find out what other schools were doing. We ran into a principal who came from a district in Minnesota where they actually had 2 schools in their district that were nominated. Unfortunately, only one of the schools of the 2 actually got the blue ribbon. So just because you make it to a certain stage in the application process, again, you have to make that annual yearly progress. The federal government is making sure, holding you accountable for high standards, high achievement, or that gap closing growth. So it's pretty amazing, again, that we were one of 329 schools. So what does it really mean when you look at this as far as a percentage? Actually less than half of 1% across the entire nation. Again, less than half of 1% of schools across our entire nation earn the blue ribbon. That's pretty phenomenal when you think about it. And then when you look at the fact that we have 2 schools in our system, that's absolutely amazing that we fit into that category. And while we were there, we talked to some principals or superintendents where they were actually receiving the award for a second time or even a third time. And based upon the work that we're doing in our system right now, I truly believe that we can accomplish that. We certainly can be a system where some of our schools are going to be recognized multiple times given the work that's being done. So I call that amazing times infinity, the fact that we are one of 329 schools in the country. So how does that happen? I oftentimes ask the question, are our results lucky or are they leading? And I know sometimes people sitting to the right probably are like, oh, there goes Jeff with that line again. But I think it's really important for us to know that results that are happening here in our system aren't by chance. They're not lucky. The work that teachers are doing with our students and with one another certainly are leading to the results. And we know that because Muskego Elementary and Country Meadows have been high achieving for some time. And DPI recognized that, and so did the federal government. So how does it happen? We've got amazing teachers. It's mission-aligned work. We have incredibly devoted students that care passionately about what they do. And we have strong partnerships with families. That's how it's done. So why do we do it? Right there. It's all about the students. That's why we do it. They care so much about the work that we do. We have to give them our absolute very best. So on behalf of all of our students and staff, and on behalf of the 4 of us that traveled, Sarah Stanley, Robin Schroed, Lori Schmidt, classroom teacher, and myself, we say thank you for your support. We can't do this without your support, and we certainly appreciate it. We want to continue to bring a high value and a great product to you as a school board, so thank you very much. What I would like to give you, as we were boarding the plane in Washington, D.C., we each wrote thank you notes to the board, so they weren't individualized for each one of you, but instead it was to the entire board. So I'll pass those along so you can take a peek, just as a note of gratitude. And then also we'll pass this down. This is actually the plaque that we received at the awards ceremony last week, Tuesday. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your commitment. Thanks for your support. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I have one question for you, Jeff.
Yes.
How long did it take you to get all the students in that picture?
Probably about 8 to 10 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
You have to be quick. Well, thank you very much, Jeff, and thank you to the team who went out and brought back the blue for us, so that's fabulous. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Moving on to other reports. President's report, I have none. Clerk's report.
I have one. 2 school board positions are up for election in 2017 for 3-year terms, Robert Bowman and Christopher Buckmaster. The notice of school board election will be published in the Thursday, November 17, 2016 edition of the Muskego New Berlin Now. Interested district residents who are eligible may file a declaration of candidacy and a campaign registration statement at the Educational Services Center on Woods Road in Muskego between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, beginning December 1st, 2016. The deadline for filing is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017. A primary election, if necessary, will take place on Tuesday, February 21st, 2017. The spring election will take place on Tuesday, April 4th, 2017. If an incumbent is not running for re-election, a written declaration of non-candidacy should be provided to the Educational Services Center no later than 5 p.m. on Friday, December 23rd, 2016. If the incumbent does not file this notification, the deadline for filing declaration of candidacy is extended for other candidates to 5 p.m. on Friday, January 6, 2017. The term of office for candidates elected to the spring election begins on Monday, April 24, 2017.
Thank you. Moving on, any other board member reports?
I have something, very briefly. I attended the WSB Legislative Conference this weekend, and just a couple quick things that they covered. One was there was a discussion on teacher shortages, and I was actually kind of pleased to find out that Wisconsin is actually better off than many other states. A lot of them are suffering, including Minnesota, which a lot of people consider a teacher's haven. Well, we're doing better than Minnesota, so that's good. The big area that they're having issues, of course, is the rural areas. They're having trouble attracting new students out of college because, well, they're kind of perceived as not being real exciting. So, fortunately, we're in a suburban area, so it doesn't affect us as much from what I've seen. The other big thing that they went through was a post-election analysis by Charles Franklin from the Marquette Law School poll. And basically, they started out, well, how did we get it wrong? In reality, they really didn't. Just the margin of error. All the election results were in the margin of error. It was just so close that that swing was not unprecedented. So they reviewed a lot of reasons why, possibly, including the rural areas, not just in Wisconsin, but elsewhere in the country, moving very much towards the GOP this time. So kind of an interesting analysis there. And then just a very brief budget preview, which was very high level because we have no idea what's going to happen right now. So that's essentially it at the session.
Thank you. Thanks for the time you put into that as well. There are no committee reports. Moving on to item 7, resolution action items. As I had said when we approved the agenda, I was going to move item 7C to the top of that list. So 7C, fiber engineering costs.
Motion to approve engineering costs for vendor MC&E for the district's provision fiber optic network in the amount of $96,600.
So moved.
Can I get a second? I'll second.
Discussion. Thank you, everyone. Apologize for the content. I tried to keep it all in order, and what I'm going to do is quickly summarize responses to the questions that were provided to us at our last meeting, and then open it up for questions if that sounds good. And the best use of time, I think that'll be our most wise approach. So I'm going to start off with the content. I'll switch over just a little bit, but I'm going to start off by directing you to, once again, our presentation. And if you notice, the final slides are the add-ons. So you don't have to worry about the first 18 slides. You can simply go to the final slides 19, 20, and 21 would get you there. So something to keep in mind is the question that came in about E-rate, and so that would be slide number 20, or I realize it's in a PDF format. It'll say E-rate information on it. The question came in about what is E-rate, and I'm going to read that verbatim just for a little bit of it and then quickly summarize. So E-rate is essentially a program that provides discounts to assist most schools and libraries in the United States to obtain affordable internet access and telecommunications services. The district has used this heavily in the past for other systems, like discounting our internet services and also discounting things like phone and other types of access. The E-rate modernization order that started July 11th, 2014, started to switch that. It's taking money away from putting it towards telecommunications and putting it more towards broadband and infrastructure. So that was round one of what is the E-rate modernization order. In December of the same year came the second E-rate modernization order. Don't know why they were so closely to one another, but it was by design that one would pave the way for the other. So the first, again, looked at reallocation of funds. The second E-rate modernization order was to, of course, ensure the access to high-speed internet, to increase the spending cap, and to permit self-construction of high-speed broadband networks. And that, again, really is a lead-in to what we're talking about here. So our percentage discount is 40%. That number is based on the number of students in our district that qualify for free and reduced lunch. Now, although that varies each year in our system, it's actually very consistent. Our discount has been very consistent as well. It's been at basically 40% for the 3 years that I've been here, and even prior to that, I know the last 3 years before that, again at 40%. So that has been a consistent number and will continue to be a consistent number. I spoke with Bill Herman from the DPI. He is our E-rate representative and consultant. So I ran everything past him in terms of our scenarios to make sure that, again, our project will appropriately align. Well, we have much more guidance than just what Mr. Herman is telling us. Of course, we have our work with MC&E and others before us. So something that came of that conversation, something about E-rate, if we use E-rate funding as a subsidy to this process, we cannot resell our lines to other people. So that was something I want to make sure I clarify. In other words, if we were to put extra strands in the ground through this process, we are bound by the process of E-rate that we cannot become a reseller of that access. And Danny, that's okay. And so that was a conversation that came up. Well, if we start burying this in the ground, are we then allowed to allow businesses to connect for a fee? There's two issues with that. We become an internet service provider, which has even more challenges, as you can imagine. We actually become a vendor of internet to others. And not that that's impossible, but it does have its complications. The second part is, and again, what I mentioned before, when using E-rate subsidies, which is important to us, it is a substantial sum of money, we would not be able to then turn and be able to resell that access to other people. Go ahead, Fred.
We talked about very briefly possibly having the city access.
At no cost wouldn't be an issue, but meaning they could pay us for that connectivity capacity, but we cannot be their internet service provider in the process. So they can join the network. We can have strands that they can be on, but it can't be a fee-based process.
Okay, so we can just say you'll pay a portion of whatever we need to cover?
Yeah, in other words, to make the connection stand, and once we bury our conduit in the ground, that is our most substantial cost. And so that paves the way, literally and figuratively, for them to add their own fiber within it as well.
And I wouldn't want to be an internet service provider, but if we can help out the city or possibly another public entity, which I can't think of one offhand in the city, I have no issues with that. So, or even a nonprofit that's working with the school potentially. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so they could connect that. So I want to make that note within the E-rate process. So again, the funding becomes, this is what's called Category 1. And not to go into too much detail, I'll try to be succinct. Category 1 is when we have circuits that don't just connect within a building, but actually go outside of the buildings, which actually connect various buildings, which is what we do. We have a very broad landscape with the buildings we have in the district. That's not new information, I realize that. But because of that, we use category 1. The best part is there's no limit to the discount. It is simply a flat 40% amount. So if approved, that would be our discount off the cost of the project. So I'm hoping that gives just a little bit of necessary background. I've got way more content in here. I'm not going to go through that right now, but there's a really nice Q&A document linked into the text that if there were to be questions about how can the district provision its own network? Is it legal to do this? Can we do that? What does that bidding process look like? And they're very short answers for each one. So it's a very nice document. Happy to go through it in further detail. But again, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to step through all those processes. Know that it is a subsidy, and know that the 2 modernization orders have allowed us to be where we are now, considering E-rate subsidy for this process. So I don't need to just jump into the next thing. Were there any questions on E-rate at this point in time? We can always come back to it. The next part is I'm going to ask Ryan to come up here. Ryan, thanks for hanging with us. We have our district diagram current, and the question was asked whether or not, Ryan, maybe you want to catch that microphone. The question became whether or not the end state, what was that goal? What was it going to look like? So that we knew we'd be successful at the end of the project. So that's what I'm going to bring up here. And then Ryan, I'll just have you navigate that too. Uh-oh. Thought I had it. There it is. Okay, so district diagram current. Ryan, if you could just kind of go over pre-post, if you would mind.
Yeah, so this would be the pre, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, as everything goes through our host solutions, file servers, domain controllers, print servers. What's not shown on here are the security camera servers that custodians use and the phone servers. All that would just go away. So basically, all that would be moved to the ESC, and everything would just go through the switches across our WAN to the ESC and then out to the internet, so we can just remove all of that stuff.
So the goal is to bring in and centralize phone data and our security systems. Jeremiah mentioned in his capital projects, the cost of the DVR server is not cheap. And so by doing that, we can centralize it and have one setup for all cameras in the district as opposed to having multiple DVRs. Which in itself is more expensive, and it's also more reliability. Because then you're looking at what systems back up those DVRs, right? So having a centralized process is, of course, strong for security. Phone systems, having a software-based phone system, so we don't have independent phone servers at all the ends. And then, as Ryan's working on right now, the installation of the data center.
Up and running.
I don't know if there are any questions on that. I realize those questions may have come from other board members, but it was to showcase, in this case, what would be that end state, and then also this last part. This is what's coming from MC&E in terms of a tentative engineering process. The types of buildings that we're going to connect. Again, this is very familiar territory with the geography of our buildings in the district. Then also the number of strands that we're going to be running, which is something that can be determined after engineering to determine the appropriate strand count for each, right? And we have Mr. Becker here to join us if there are any questions, but our goal was to discuss E-rate information initially, to be able to talk about end state, what our centralized data, security, and phone would look like, and then also to look at our internal fiber network map, and to come back around some of the engineering. If you notice, also from MC&E is a document that has the different multiple steps and what's included in the engineering, and also the steps that are in the project management. Just so we, again, are all clear, those are two different processes. We're talking about engineering right now, and the approval of just that process, nothing more. However, in that process, ideally, we would want MC&E to project manage. That's what we would set as a goal, and that is another fee and another multiple-step process. So in that document, it includes both, but notice that there's just engineering which is what would come at that cost today. We had looked at a couple of options. One of the primary questions was, how is this being funded? Thank you, Ryan. And once again, I want to be clear that we are intending to fund this out of the current technology budget. And ideally, our goal, if all goes well, would be to have an E-rate subsidy offset the initial costs in this process, the amount of 40%, which would bring this to a rough estimate of, let's just say, $800,000. If we were to lease that, which is, again, a suggested opportunity, that would be roughly the exact same amount that we pay now to lease fiber optic cabling for our district through a vendor. And so we'd be at not necessarily a flat amount because we're investing in engineering and project management, but over time, we would see a similar cost to the technology budget, and then over time, a significant savings by our own district provision network. So we have an ROI. It's potentially 5 years. And with that, we become free from those ties. And we do have certain liabilities, amounts for marking different sites, which has different terminologies we can use there, and also potential repairs. We estimated that could be up to about $5,000 per year, and that's probably on the high end. So that would be our new cost in terms of maintenance related to owning our own fiber network. For speeds, we'd only be looking for 1 gig initially. That is only what our need is. But we'd be able to turn it up to 10 gig without having to add any new infrastructure to our system. We did a switch upgrade last year, and so our systems are ready to take on that new speed. So we wouldn't be coming back to you asking for significant money to update all the infrastructure attached to it. That has already been done. And again, our data center also helps pave that way. So maybe I'll just stop there and take a breath and see if there are any.
Is there any questions?
I've got a number of them.
Yeah, shoot.
So you said, I think you answered this before, but I just want to make sure. Connecting to the internet right now, we'd have to go through, who do we use as a provider?
WiskNet is our internet service provider. We'd still would have that fee.
Where would the fee come into?
Well, right now, we have a small segment that we attach to what is called their CAN, their pipe. And at that point, we'd still have to pay for that connection. But phase 2 of the project, which we have discussed, is to connect to either neighboring New Berlin schools or Franklin to be able to then be part of a larger network, which then we would eliminate that need.
Okay. Where does WiskNet come in for us? Does it come into the ESC? Or?
Yes, directly into the ESC.
Okay.
And then we distribute from that Wi-Fi network, or wireless network, fiber network, over the buildings, which then in most cases is wireless.
So is there a cost savings to going to the feed from Alverno through New Berlin or Franklin?
Yep. We pay for BadgerNet. And the way I've used this is we have the train tracks and the train. The train is our internet service provider, which is WiskNet. They're channeling the information through it. We use BadgerNet to be our on-ramp to the actual internet, and that cost would be eliminated over time.
How much is that per year?
It's about $12,000 a year.
Okay. What would happen if we go through this and we find out we wouldn't be eligible for the E-rate for whatever reason?
Yep, we have to approach this as if we are fully responsible for it. While E-rate is likely, it's unproven. Because this is so new in the process, no one has technically been approved yet, which might give someone cause for a bit of, do we really want to consider that that's even a possibility? We're feeling pretty good about it. I don't have as strong a finger on the pulse. I know that Mr. Becker does. I did talk with Mr. Herman again today, and he said that that process is being mainstreamed more often. There are just very specific processes because the telecoms are asking that there are very high bars for people that qualify for what this process is. And it doesn't mean that we wouldn't qualify, but it also means that they're vetting this process significantly for these districts that are the first to go through this, particularly in Wisconsin. So again, we have that opportunity. I did reach out to one of the leasing companies that we had originally approached about this process in order to extend that term. That's a possibility. In other words, extend the term long enough to match. Now, it gives us a long-term lease, but it also keeps things steady and also means we are a few more years away from that ownership of the network. So it's not the only thing I can offer. It is just one option, which is, again, another finance option.
Okay. I would if we would not qualify for the REIT, if the board would approve this tonight, I'd still like to at least come back and give us an update so we can know what's going on.
Yeah.
Disaster recovery. What do we do for that right now?
You mean if there were to be a major catastrophic event or if there were to be a cut in the line?
Well, everything would be feeding into the ESC.
Correct.
Something were to happen to the ESC.
Yep.
What do we have for potential backup and recovery situations?
Ryan, feel free to correct me, but we have off-site backups and cloud-based backups to make sure that our content's safe. So at that point, once we're part of a larger fiber network, we can also do other off-site locations. Right now, we go between our district office and the high school, and also cloud-based. In fact, most of our resources are internet-based. So Infinite Campus as a system is backed up offline. Skyward, as an example, is backed up in the cloud. So we have Google as another example. So much of our resources are cloud-based, but also metal backup too.
What I'm thinking of is if something were to happen at the ESC in order to get everything back up and running again.
Yep.
What would we do? Would we be able to quickly, within a few days, set up something, say, at the new middle school at the other end of town? So that we can run all of our operations through that?
Great question. I wouldn't say that, well, based on the new site, that's the furthest, greatest distance away from some of our other buildings.
Right.
I would say that it would be twofold. Number one would be action as fast as possible on repair of the current, we'll call it a fiber optic. Are you referring to more of the fiber or just the data center?
The whole data, yeah, the data center.
The bigger question is what
would
happens.
This fiber optic network be able to channel everything through another location without too much issue?
It would, because we'd have, everything would be connected through fiber. The thing is, if we actually physically lost those servers, we don't have like another full server that we would simply place somewhere, but we do have redundancy at the high school as an example. So if we took out district office, but the high school is still good, we'd be able to run our network.
Okay.
If both systems are out, well, we'd have a few more challenges with that. Data would be safe and secure, but it wouldn't be something we could turn around in a day to simply get services back online.
Okay, well, we'd be able to do that at the high school right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the cost to run more fiber optic, if we wanted to run another, what do you do, one line at a time through it? Or?
We do one cable at a time, yes.
Okay.
If you were to add another cable through there, you could budget roughly $1.50 a foot to pull that through.
So we're talking about how many feet in this?
Let's say.
Well, what's a base cost per foot?
$8,000 a mile. We've got 18 miles in the network.
What's the base cost per foot?
14 miles in the network.
So about.
Now it's $1.
About $92,000 to add another cable to the entire network.
So
basically
it doubles it?
Okay.
Must be. Yeah.
We double it if we add another string for pulling?
If you added another, I'm talking another cable within the duct.
So it just doubles the cost?
It would, I'm sorry.
It would double the capacity.
Right.
So roughly $100,000.
So what's the base cost per foot right now?
About $1.30, $1.50.
And what would be the additional one cost? Oh, $1.50 total.
To pull a new cable through that duct,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
So more expensive initially, obviously, per foot, I think is what you were getting at.
Well, it just sounded like we went from $1.50 to doubling it, but it's okay.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be my final question. On one of our options, it was to lease to ourselves.
Yes.
Well, do we have the ability for that in the fund balance right now to do that without short-term borrowing?
Yes, assuming no other projects.
There's no political will for that.
What about, if we decide we want to do something with the pool?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
If we wanted to do something with the pool, then we would be digging into the fund balance a little bit, and we'd need to short-term borrow until all this is squared away. Is that correct?
If we wanted to do a full pool and this project?
Yes.
Likely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why really the recommendation, if we were to move forward with the entire project, would be to do a capital lease.
Okay.
From another company, because really all we're doing is taking what we're paying for the cost of internet right now and substituting it, taking that away, throwing a lease payment for the exact amount, paying it off in 3 to 5 years, and then we're essentially done with those payments. So we'd want to go through a vendor. It would make the most sense.
Okay.
Just a quick question on that, though. If the E-rate doesn't go through, that 3 to 5 years becomes closer to 10, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'd have to work with the vendor on those options of what it would look like pending E-rate, because really, we don't necessarily know
Well, if I did some generic math without interest, let's say the project were the full amount of $1.7 million, which means We Energies would not give any easement to the process. And again, these are estimates, but and we did a 10-year amortization, again, without any interest, it'd be $170,000 a year. So we'd be at least at that term. If it were the full amount, no E-rate, no interest. Of course, there'll be some. And so that's what we would work back from in terms of a number, just as an estimate. So I'd agree with you, the term would almost double. The thing is, we also have that opportunity where there are multiple stages to the process, and so we have to figure out if E-rate approval doesn't come, you can appeal the process as well. So it's not that a final decision would be the only decision. Like anything else with E-rate, they are typically asking for considerably more information, and it's just a matter of time. And again, I can't guarantee anything, but those are the conversations we're having both with E-rate, with DPI, and of course with our partners.
And I know that with the leasing company too, the leases that we've entered into, there's no prepayment penalty. And so if the board were to approve the project, we were not to get the E-rate, or we were to get the E-rate funding, but it was after the lease was approved and we moved forward with it, we could pay it back sooner than, the 10 years. We wouldn't incur those interest costs on the additional cost of the project.
So let's say that E-rate continues to be delayed, which it sounds like it is, right? Because nobody's been approved yet.
Right.
We go through the process, we go through construction, the lease is already in place. What's the likelihood that E-rate says, well, you already did the project, so we're not going to refund you? I mean, because now we're talking about a refund scenario, not a discount scenario. So are they likely to do that?
I can answer my question best. I don't know, Dan, if you have a...
It's a very good question because the process is so new. You say it would go into a refund process, and I think that's unknown territory for anybody in this situation right now because of the newness of the entire process.
So since we've got so many variables on the E-rate and it's material, I mean, it's $600,000 a little project, right?
Yep.
Can we, and I apologize if you said this earlier, there's just a lot of information on this.
It is. Right.
So is it possible to do a one-year lease next year when it comes? I mean, I know our lease comes up next year, right? So, I mean, is it possible to do a one-year lease and let some of this vet itself out so that we have a better understanding of what the cost is going to be? Or are there penalties to do that? Or
So here's what I made a note on, and I want to just read this quick. A note from Bill Herman directly says, you can begin the project before the service year begins, which gives you more time to complete the project. And it says that you have to wait to hear back on funding. And of course, it's not that we're going to try to break ground before that, but he is saying that others have already started building prior to even receiving the funding, so we wouldn't be alone there. And it doesn't automatically rule us out. Well, if we started breaking ground and all of a sudden E-rate says, well, you've done too much. Our challenge becomes that there's pressure from Time Warner, who is our vendor, to increase costs as we increase our speeds. And signing a one-year contract is never, how would I put it? We spend a lot more money with those short-term contracts than we do the long-term contract, as you would imagine.
I can imagine that. Sure.
So I don't want to speculate too much, but it would be probably not far off from the amount that we spend potentially for engineering. The thing is, we have kind of a specific timeline if we want to do this within the 2017 year to be at least ready to both get engineering done, to place bids in front of our RFP, to ask for that for bids from different vendors, to then actually match the window of E-rate by February, so that by March they can start evaluating, which is when the end of that timeline is, so that by July we would actually have the chance at approval. I realize those timelines get pushed back, but I'm thinking our challenge is going to be, if we start now and this process is taking a year and a half, that it might already push us back to when we'd have to break ground in summer prior to the opening of the new middle school. So this process is going to take a very long period of time from my perspective, and it seems like we'd want to start that process now rather than waiting. Only the process itself. We don't have to build anything, we don't have to break any ground, but we're going to definitely need that information, and also to apply to E-rate to even have the possibility of standing in line. So in other words, we have to pay our ticket, punch it, and get in line to do this now, because I think what's going to happen is come 2018, we're going to have to sign a longer-term contract if we're worried about trying to get a build in the ground and having Time Warner Cable run something all the way to our new location which is the new middle school. So it's a combination of, yeah, we don't want to put the cart before the horse. At the same time, we do want to get in line right now because, and we can always step out. When we apply for E-rate funding, we do not have to take it. It's not a requirement. We do not have to break ground until we decide that we either have approval or that we're equipped and ready to do that. So again, this is just a process of making sure that engineering is moving forward so that, again, we can get in line.
What's the minimum requirement you would need now to just move forward without us approving this whole thing?
Well, just engineering is all I would need.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
I know, but how much, and what's,
Well,
we're-
the greatest amount is
No,
96.
what's the risk of just buying the engineering? Is it good for anything after, I mean, if we end up, okay, we're going to wait
Yeah.
10 years?
It is good. We look at a 5-year projection for everything that we're looking at for routes. So you can look at that engineering as being valid for 5 years with minor tweaks and changes should we extend all the way out those 5 years.
And I think just another thing to keep in mind is even though we look at these numbers and they're huge, and we think about, God, if we had to lease a $1.7 million over 10 years, that's extreme. But right now, we're paying $170,000 a year to lease from Time Warner anyway. So we're paying that cost, and we will continue to pay it to have internet, regardless of if it's ours or if we're leasing it. So the investment, while it's big right now, if we were to lease over time, it'd be no different than us leasing from another company now, except at the end of the 10 years, it becomes ours, as opposed to leasing from Time Warner and likely to see increases over those next 10 years. So what's $170,000 now is likely going to be almost double, triple that in 5 to 10 years. So it's hard to look at it up front to see that end goal, but we're paying the money anyway. It's already budgeted regardless, one way or another.
So have we been in talks at all, since it's going right by City Hall, with the city?
Yep.
And how much they'd be willing to cost share?
I'll just kind of review that quickly, and again, I don't want to give too much of their inside conversation with that, of course, but what I do know is this. We've had multiple conversations with them. They're willing to have that, to consider that opportunity, but they did sign a contract about, well, let's just say within 2015, that puts them out a few years. So before it would be worthwhile for them to connect to our system, they would, of course, either have to break contract, which I'm sure is very expensive, or see the contract to its end.
Who do they use, same thing, Time Warner as a...
Again, I don't want to mention that just because that might be their information, but there's a good chance they might.
Public, you can mention it.
What?
You can mention it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it should be public record.
Fair enough. So yes, it is.
Okay.
And so it's a similar vendor. There's a very similar process, and they did sign a long-term contract, and now we're, for that reason, are not ready to jump into it if we were to be there ourselves. So.
It'd be nice to know how much we'd be able to work, they'd be able to contribute to, even though it'd be, 3 years out?
That number?
5.
5?
Yeah.
So 2020.
Because 5-year contracts are always less per month, and they figured it was going to be a long-term process.
So on your fiber network engineering tasks, under underground E, it says complete all necessary route licensing assignments. Is that the We Energies discussions?
Yes, it is. Would you like me to step up to the microphone?
Yes, please.
There's oftentimes a difference between licensing and permitting. The licensing is for the owner's long-term access to a property. In this instance, We Energies. Should there be any railroad crossings, as an owner, you need to be licensed to be under the railroad. And then the permitting is a separate item aside from that. So yes, item E is talking specifically about licensing for ownership ability.
There's no railroad crossings, we're good.
That is good too.
So when does the permitting come in?
The permitting comes in when it comes time to actually construct. Then you'll have your obstruction and your excavation permits. That's when the contractor gets involved with the city, municipality, to have the restoration bond in place, have certificate of insurance in place.
But you already have permission at that point.
You've got permission, you've got license to be there.
All right. So I asked a question, which Julie answered today, but I'm not really getting it. Maybe I'm missing something here. So my question was, fiber, it appears that we may be spending upwards of $201,000 with MC&E, Engineering and Project Management, if we proceed with the fiber project. Does our district policies require these services to be bid out? So then I looked at the attachment that you provided, Julie, and I get page 16, 15 and 16.
Sure.
The cooperating purchasing under Wisconsin state statute. Totally get that. What I don't get is, what doesn't mean anything to me is when you go down here and look at these prices, it's a per hour price for engineering and design and for project management fees. Okay, so we're getting $70 per hour, right?
Yes.
That doesn't mean much to me, because I don't know how many hours this project's going to take. So my question was, do we need to bid this out, even the engineering portion of this, because of the dollar amount? And we're getting the state fee or the state contracted price of $70 per hour, and let's just say he's going to spend 200 hours on it, but we have another engineering company that will come in and do it for 100 hours at $70 per hour. So this it answers my question, but it really doesn't answer my question. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I guess I still have the same question. To be good stewards of taxpayer money, should we be bidding this out?
Can you talk a little bit about the process that you used when going through the bid itself? Like when you had to submit an RFP for this bid, were there a certain number of hours required? Was it project-based? How did that work for you?
It was based off of the size of the network that Brown County was asking for the maintenance on. So they've got a 52-mile network in place, and based on what they're looking for engineering services, and again, they run the full gamut of what we provide here, it comes down to what our typical services for that overall network come out to on an hourly rate. And I think what they did there is they allowed contractors like ourselves to be really compared apples to apples. Let's break it down to a small number that we can compare side by side. So what our $70 an hour rate is basically for a large network, over 3 times the size of what we're proposing here, and based on the amount of time that it would take for engineering and running through the tests that we've got listed here for something considerably larger. Which I hope that answers the question. I hope I didn't stray off topic. That's how it was determined.
I
So I see
totally
what you're-
I understand
I see what
everything
you're
you're
saying.
saying. My only question is, and I don't know, maybe I'm thinking that there's other engineering companies in this state that are doing the same thing. I don't even know that, to be honest with you. They may be the only one. But I'm just wondering if this is, we're here to make sure that we have costs that are reasonable to our taxpayers, and I don't know that.
So in some cases, they're like if we were to shop out a network data center switches, we'd have multiple vendors from multiple product lines. In this case, within here, we don't have the same access to the same pool. And there are others out there. And while I don't wish to publicly put anyone else down as a comparative, there's a very specific reason we're working with the select vendor and why we want them to be our engineer at the very least. And ideally, our project manager as well, is because of the experience that comes with this project. You probably remember referring back to our original map that we had, and it showed all the MC&E projects that were happening around the state. It's not about a popularity contest, and yes, certainly there is always an opportunity to bid, But what we know is the group that we have with MC&E has been a strong partnership in terms of even getting us to this point. The conversation started in 2013, even with my predecessor, with this company. That person also, after leaving the system, used the exact same company in an entirely new district with great success. That says a lot about why we choose a certain vendor. We do appreciate that we have a state rate, at least to start comparing to. We know that there might always be opportunities for savings here and there, but certainly in our case, we're with the absolute vendor we need to be with, the one that we see across many projects across the state, not just here. He's coming from another region of the state because he's being used there as well. He's got a great team behind him. He's been very supportive of the process, as you can tell. And not trying to oversell it, but certainly there is a reason MC&E is in the driver's seat for this. It would be invaluable to have them to be retained as our engineering company. And again, ideally our project management. I say this because, again, they're two separate entities, but I can't imagine working with another vendor, period. I'm that confident in the resources we're getting and that opportunity, because then I know what we're doing, engineering, has to be accurate, has to be spot on so that the RFPs we get are in line. If we're even a little bit off on that and the bids we get back are inaccurate because of that, we're going to be in.
Did you at least look at other vendors?
We have looked at other vendors even starting, because believe it or not, this map was drawn up before I even started in the district. And so other vendors were looked at. And so the other projects that we're talking about, and these costs have not changed. Ironically, since it was offered in 2013, the price has not gone up. The exact same amount of engineering has been looked at. And so I can look back at our specific notes. I know that Bob looked at least 2 other vendors to say these were people that they had used. Now 3 years have gone by. But thankfully our costs in terms of what have been introduced have not changed for an MC&E from the day I picked up on that conversation 3 years ago. So we certainly, again, they go back completely to the drawing board. But I would 99 out of 100 times recommend that we use the exact same engineering process that we have right now, knowing what we know. That's based on conversations with.
What would have made me more comfortable, and I wish I didn't get this till today, so I wasn't really sure what I was getting. I was hoping what I was going to receive was something like, for instance, how many miles of line do we have here?
14.
14. Okay, so I get a comparison from Franklin with 19 that they paid a percentage higher than we did with 14, for engineering fees. And New Berlin with 27 paid this percentage higher than we were paying. Do you know what I mean? So I had some comparison. And I know that happened a year or 2 or 3 ago, so I know there's some difference there. But that would have probably worked to our advantage here, that you would have at least. I'm going to go ahead and move on this.
I understand the
I'm
point.
fine with that.
Yep.
But I honestly can't say that I'm making a informed decision for the taxpayer. I can't say that.
Sure.
I'm going to trust you that you're bringing what's best for the taxpayers of this community. But that would have been helpful.
And I don't think you necessarily need to bid, go to a bid on something like this. We're building, $45 million worth of buildings right now, and we didn't bid our construction management. We went through an RF. We accepted proposals and we evaluated them.
Right.
Completely different from a bid project.
Right.
And we also weren't tied to, whoever came in the cheapest, and we didn't go with whoever the cheapest was. So from that part, I'm comfortable by not going on a bid, especially for just the engineering. We're obviously going to bid all the important parts of this and the expensive parts of this.
Yep.
I guess I'd rather have more data. I mean, like Eric, I'm probably move forward with this, but I'd rather have more recent data. I mean, 2013, it's a marketplace. People who their key engineers may have left and started their own firms right now. I don't know that.
Same people.
That happens all the time. I mean, I work with a lot of engineering firms.
No doubt.
That's the marketplace. So, because of that, I guess, that there's a little uneasiness as far as not actually bidding it. That part I can get past. I just hope we give current information.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments or? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for being patient. All right, back to item 7A, 2016-17 salaries. Do we need to? Okay. all right. Can you read the-
Sure. Motion to approve a salary increase for all workforce groups as described in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to 7B, attendance boundary lines.
Motion to approve attendance boundary lines as presented.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion?
So the information that is attached for you is really nothing new to the board. However, the information in the PowerPoint that was used for the feedback sessions in September has been enhanced to include some information around the proposed boundary lines as well as the applied population lab enrollment results and city development summary. So it provides more information to our community related to the attendance boundary lines, our process, and all of the things that you've seen before. But it does give some snippets of information about our every other year analysis of our enrollment, which has indicated a flat to declining, and why that is with the birth rates and different things. Now, as we've seen, things can change, but it is important for our community to know that we are building in a very conservative manner. We're not building for these huge increases, but from the standpoint of what is reasonable to expect. So that information is there. Also, again, the information related to student transitions at each school and grade level, so that there's an understanding that there are a lot of students experiencing transitions. The proposed new boundary line plan, what I passed out for you is the city provided us with the actual plots, and it just is a clear map of where those lines are drawn, and it just helps with clarity. So that information was also uploaded and provided in those PowerPoints where the proposed plan was provided. Next steps, if the board is comfortable with this option, again, this is option 1 with 2 changes. The proposed option 1 that the parents and the community members who attended those meetings for feedback, the southeastern boundary line for the new Country Meadows Test Corners was brought up to Highway 36. So that was in order to maintain a sufficient Lakeview enrollment, and then also a western boundary line that was sort of that bubble of Country Meadows. Again, Country Meadows is being split into 3 different areas, but that northeastern part of Country Meadows included on Woods Road a subdivision off of Woods, and so we kept that with Muskego, and that also allowed for an appropriate enrollment number at Mill Valley. So next steps will be, if the board is comfortable moving forward, we'll communicate this in our parent monthly IC message. Actually, the website has been updated, but it still says draft. And the administration will accept the intra-district transfer requests through April of 2018 for the 18-19 school year, and will approve requests based on enrollment and class sizes at each of the sites. And then again, the implementation of the new attendance boundary lines goes into effect in 2018-19.
So do we approve inter-district requests prior to school choice?
Well, actually, so the process goes that we have to determine open enrollment seats in January. And then we are accepting intra-district transfers from the start of the year through April. And so in areas where we aren't confident that we'll have seats. So for example, kindergarten, because we don't know what that enrollment is going to be. We don't have even, kindergarten, splash and all those types of things until January and end of January. So some of those we say we don't have space until we know we have space for open enrollment students. So we always take intra-district transfer requests prior to open enrollment.
Yeah. I guess I would just suggest caution on open enrollment numbers early. We can always add at the end, like we've done in the past. I would rather us fulfill inter-district transfers 100% and have less open enrollment. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our residents and their requests and interests prior to allowing individuals from outside of our district.
It might be somewhat of a financial hardship for us for a year. It's probably well worth it.
Thank you.
So Kelly, for
Yes.
for Lakeview, the current population at Lakeview is
About 350?
so when we see 1,002 here.
That's K through 12. Okay. So the city, thank you for mentioning that. The city is just looking at the properties and then the current students. They did not look at the specific, grade levels for these students at all, so.
And then the only other question I had is, so lots of movement, right? Transitions, right?
Yes.
So for instance, if you take a look at Champions Village, Lakeview now, fourth graders in Lakeview are going to next year go to Danoon, following year go to the other middle school. If there are some in there, if it's an inter-district transfer, we're saying you need to get your child there on your own. If there's a large contingent from a subdivision like that, that's going through a big transition, I guess I'm looking to make it as easy as possible without doing ridiculous things, obviously.
Sure.
But I mean, if we've got, just a lot of students from a certain subdivision because it's affecting just that subdivision, do we ever?
Sure, and we'll deal with that in other areas as well. So there'll be students who'll be fourth grade at Muskego Elementary who'll go to Bay Lane for a year, and then they'll have to go to the new middle school or have to go to Lake Danoon, depending on where that crossing is. We will, for sure, look at every opportunity to support our families. So if through the process of getting the intra-district transfers, we see that most families don't mind that their families potentially are split, where their third grader is attending one elementary and their fourth grader is attending another, but through an intra-district transfer, however that would work out. We would look at providing opportunities such as busing if there's a big contingency in a particular area. We would certainly work to serve our parents and our families for sure.
That
makes sense.
That was one concern with me because very often you have kids who go to school together at buds, and you get the transfer, but then the parent who may not be able to drop their student off at the school that they're both attending could be a bit of an issue. But if they can get Billy over to Bobby's house and grab the bus from there, as long as there's room, I don't have a problem with that. So I hope we'll be working with that.
That's our practice now, actually.
Yeah.
We have, with any inter-district transfer, even open enrollment, if you can get to a stop and there's room on the bus, we've always let anybody jump on those. Well, our students, not everybody, sorry.
Jump on.
I think you also have to be careful because I think what Bob's suggesting is hypothetically, Champions Village approaches us with 50 signatures of parents that would like to inter-district transfer, and with 50 kids going, they're saying, couldn't you provide a bus? I think it has to be done on a request basis, individual request basis. Because I think it's got to have a lot of scrutiny too, because if we open that up, all of a sudden we're going to be running 10 buses of 5 kids or 10 kids from all different parts of the city, which is not real fiscally responsible.
Well, I get that. I just think that, and I can't imagine Champions is the only, like you said, the only subdivision that's going to go through that. I think if it's reasonable, that's all I'm saying, is that we don't put a hard no to it, that we at least take a look and see if
Yeah,
it's
we would always
reasonable.
look to see how we can make accommodations within transportation. If we do have to add a route, though, I mean, that comes at a $50,000 a year cost per route. So we just have to be really,
I understand.
as Eric said, aware of that.
But if that takes the place of a different route, that's when it would make sense, because we're serving without adding,
Without
a
adding,
significant
correct.
amount.
And just being careful that if you add that route, you're not going to receive 10 other requests, for.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's going to be one of those case-by-case basis.
Yeah, and that's how we're going to approach it, and then certainly as, issues or things that come up that we need to discuss with the board because it's, a huge concern or, it's interesting, we haven't gotten a lot of calls and we haven't gotten a lot of disagreement with, how we're moving forward, but once the rubber hits the road, that's where there might be some, oh, wait a minute, this is how this is really truly going to affect, our families, so.
Well, and you do have a lot of families that aren't paying attention yet.
Yeah. Right. So we're going to remain open and, continue our service.
So the 3 districts you have here, this is basically where the elementary schools will be headed.
Correct.
Which ones are feeding into where for middle school?
The blue and the yellow, so Mill Valley and Muskego Elementary, the expanded Mill Valley, and Lakeview feed into Lake Danoon.
Okay.
And then the red is the new Country Meadows Test Corners, and that feeds all into the new middle school.
Okay.
So again, it goes to the priority of the parents through the survey not to split kids at middle school. So we were designing these so that they would feed into the same and not having them split.
Okay. And then one more comment. This does not show the area in New Berlin that is part of our school district, even though
that's
it's
because
only a
the
gravel
city,
quarry.
okay,
However, in the future,
Yeah.
I think it would be good to know for people that, hey, this area would be
Still,
going there if they ever develop it into something that would have
Yeah, good
students.
point. We did have in our previous, it was all the way up, so we'll have both of those in. We just received this
Just like with the
today,
area
actually.
of that digs into West Bend, I don't think we have any students over there. If we do, there are only a few. So.
This here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, we don't.
I think it's mostly
Yeah, it's quarry.
the landfill.
Yep,
so.
it is.
But it'd be good to show, just
Yep.
so people know.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
What's the next step of this?
The next step is for you to approve this, and then we move forward with communication, and then we actually will be starting to work with staff and parents, and and actually Jeff will be heading up that, which will include what are we going to name our buildings, and how are we going to connect our families together, and those types of things. So all of those efforts will start in the spring, or this January, February. We'll start planning that once we have this approved.
So would it be appropriate to, along with publishing this map at some point, also publishing our inter-district transfer policy?
Yes, absolutely. I can add that to our November meeting.
Yeah, we will have the ability with the software that we're using that this can become interactive, and we can post it on the website where people can type in their address, see where their location would be for middle school and elementary, and we can keep the current one up as well as add the new one so people can compare.
Anything else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 7D, policy and administrative guideline revisions.
Motion to approve revisions to policies as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
There have been no changes made to the policies and AGs listed. They are as they were on October 24th, and they will come back, the policies will come back to you in consent on November 28th.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to item 8, discussion items. Item 8A, 2017-18 budget. Any new?
We do. We have the 17-18 budget planning calendar. It's for your information. I won't go through all the details. But this basically lays out our process moving from when we're going to start our budget planning process in December all the way through the annual meeting next year, which I've tentatively listed as October 23rd. So it's obviously not the last Monday of the month, but we do have the flexibility. This year we were on the 24th, so I just kept it consistent with what we've been doing. Anything that's bold on here is an item that's either driven by Wisconsin law or the handbook, so those are more of the important dates that we would keep looking at. It also shows you as a board what to expect as far as staffing plans and when to receive the budget assumptions for the upcoming year.
Any questions for Julie? Thank you. Moving on to item 8B, master planning updates.
So actually, we're coming to the close of our building advisory teams at the end of this month. But the core planning team will continue through the next probably couple of years, meeting on every other Wednesday. So again, well, the purpose will change a bit. The discussions and building plan design concepts are available for you, again, in that CPT agenda item, and the link is in the administrative content area, so you can go ahead and take a peek at those. As Jeremiah had made note of in his presentation, we do have a new middle school neighborhood meeting that's happening on November 22nd at Tudor Oaks. So we're hoping for a large crowd to provide information and answer any questions that neighbors may have regarding the new building. So again, just as a reminder, November 21st we'll be meeting at the ESC for a master planning discussion, work session around those two highest priority areas that the master planning team had identified. Jeremiah spoke to a bit today, which was the pool and then the football stadium. So we'll talk about finances, we'll talk about prioritization, we'll look at some concepts, and we'll kind of go from there as to what the board is comfortable with and make a timeline from that point. Also, we met with 3 brokers to determine who would best serve us from a broker standpoint in selling Muskego Elementary and Test Corners. And Julie supplied a sort of a summary here for you. Julie, if you want to, it's down below in the administrative content. You'll see that the broker information, the three brokers and some information.
Sure. So what I have listed here, the 3 different broker groups that we met with. I've also included their listing price recommendation. So if you remember back, we had brokers' opinions that came forward to the board almost 6 months ago, maybe. But we did get a broker opinion from Anderson as well, so they're the 3rd group to come on. What we liked about Anderson was that they came forward to us, and the conversation wasn't so much about let's get rid of the buildings and let's just sell the property. It was, we are invested in a lot of municipal markets. We know school markets. We know this area and have a lot of clients in this area. And so their first recommendation was, let's see what's out there, what people might be interested in keeping the building on so that we don't have to worry about that demo component. They have worked with the New Berlin School District. They came fairly highly recommended. I will note that there's always talk about that New Berlin property on Racine. That's awful. They took over after that was sold, so that was not them. So it's good to note. And that property is no longer part of their school district, believe it or not. So, but anyway, the pricing here that's listed is what they would recommend listing both properties at for all 3 companies. And you can just see the variety of recommendations. Anderson, actually all three of the companies, I believe, walked through with Jeremiah the buildings and just to get an idea of land and scope. Their brokerage fees are all standard for the most part. So really it's not a matter of really who's getting the best deal. It's more about who you're paying to really go out and find the right clients that will purchase the property at the best value for the district. And based on the interviews that we had with all three companies, we really felt Anderson would serve us best.
Any fees short of sale?
No. Not that we're listed, but we haven't received their contracts yet, so that obviously would have to come back to the board for approval. Once we decide to move forward, we'd actually get their listing contract.
And they will list it right away, you said?
Yes, they would move forward. You know, it could take 6 to 8 months to find the right buyer, if not longer. And we did have conversations that we obviously need to occupy the buildings at least until June of 2018. So they understand that component, but still feel it's important to go out and find the right buyer now.
A big green sign in front of their building with a blue ribbon on it.
All the kids are in session, yeah.
So what do you need tonight?
This is information for your review. We'd like to move forward and get contracts from Anderson so that we can present those for action to the board.
On November 20th.
On November 20th.
Anyone else?
You don't need an approval, do you, from the board?
No,
Just
that's
a
nice. No,
consensus.
we'll bring it back. Yep, we'll bring it.
Where are they?
They're right down the street in Forest Home. About 76th and Forest Home. Same building as Mike. Dillon. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
MHS course discussion book, or I'm sorry, course description book, not discussion.
That's Christy. You want to give the highlights of the changes?
I would love to. It's that time of year again. Can you believe it already? So there's 3 attachments in the public content. The first one it's just a really nice summary of the changes. The second one is just the pages of the guidebook that will undergo construction. And then the third one would be the recommended language for those changes. So I'll just go ahead and reference the actual changes. There's an entirely new page describing the CAP program that is on page 11. And that content was created with our CAP adjunct professors and our student services counselors. On pages 13 and 14, if you recall last year, the different opportunities for students to earn college credits, that chart was new last year. And so we added CAP to that chart since that would be a way for them to earn college credits. And again, it's a good snapshot or summary for parents and for students about the different opportunities they have. On page 28, it's really just updating the scholarship tie-breaking criteria. That was a board policy that was updated in spring, and that's for the Wisconsin Excellence Scholarship. And if you recall in spring, we removed rank as being one of the pieces or one of the pieces of criteria because the district is moving away from having rank. And then all of the newer modified courses were added, and I don't think I need to go through the list. Those were just added just approved a few weeks ago here at a board meeting. But each one of those has now been added. AP French, that whole description of that course has been moved to the WVS offerings, and again, that's the Wisconsin Virtual School offerings. If you recall at a couple board meetings ago, we talked about world language, and French is actually not run for 2 years, AP French. And it's common practice, currently in past practice, that when a course doesn't run for 2 years, we actually remove it from the guidebook so that we're always having fresh offerings for students that they're interested in. But we wanted to still offer it to students because there will be a select few that's what they want to take and that's what they have taken. So we added that to page 109. You'll notice that we have not done that for AP Spanish, and that's because we are only in year 1 of that course not running, and so we would let it go through a second year before making that decision to remove it. And on page 86, there was a social studies requirement it was called option number 3. It only applied to the 2016-17 graduates, and that has been removed. And that was just language that was phasing out some old language. And then lastly, related to the social studies requirement, when students opt out of the required courses and they take a different path, they have to complete what's called the Wisconsin Framework Packet. And that is a packet that talks about Wisconsin government. That's mandatory by state that students are exposed to that curriculum. So currently, we give them literally a paper packet, like a newspaper or a magazine that has the curriculum in it, and then one of our instructors scores those, and it's a $10 fee for students. We were able to find an online subscription for those students to get that same content delivered to them via an online form. So that subscription price is half the cost of what the paper was. So that dollar amount has changed as well. So nothing too shocking or surprising, mostly just updates and new courses. Any questions?
I've got one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at CAP Spanish,
Yes.
and off to the right at the top, it gives it 2 semesters, 1 credit weighted. Do we want to say how many credits it applies for at UW Oshkosh in that case?
Yes. We have all of that information summarized on the CAP, the informational page that has the information just on CAP courses. So I can add it here as well.
I would think it'd be beneficial for parents who say, wait a minute, they're getting 3 actual college credit courses, or...
So just so that I'm clear that we're both looking at the same thing.
Page 101, I'm looking at CAP Spanish.
Okay.
Page 101. I mean, me, as a parent, if this were available when my daughters were going through, I would see it as a benefit knowing that it's 3 actual college credits versus 3 that you get applied towards. I mean, it would help make that decision.
Right. I can do that for all of the CAP courses. I'll add the college credit there as well in the description.
Thank you.
So we'll bring this back for action on November 24th. 28th.
The 24th is Thanksgiving.
Is it Thanksgiving? I've got turkey on the head.
All right, any other feedback? All right, moving on, item 8D, waiver for request for early school start.
Jeffrey.
All right, so with the passage of our referendum last April, realizing that there are going to be some major construction projects happening in several of our buildings over the course of this summer, as well as going into the summer of 2018. We've been talking with C.G. Schmidt and Bray about just the timing of the projects and really would there be any benefit to us releasing students earlier the summer of 2018, so earlier in June, to allow them to really do some of the work that needs to get done yet that summer in order to start school on time for the 2018-19 school year. And C.G. Schmidt's response was, absolutely, that would be a gift of time that we could use. We wouldn't feel rushed. We could do the projects, to the level of expectation that we have as contractors, and really we could use that time so that we're not stumbling over individuals as we're trying to get ready for the start of 2018-19, and they're finishing up their projects. So as you know, right now, we cannot start school prior to September 1st. State law does not allow us to do that. But what we can do per statute is to apply for a waiver to the start of the school year prior to September 1st. DPI does allow certain exemptions, and one of them is major construction projects that would allow us that particular exemption to begin school prior to September 1st. So really, this evening is around discussion, conversation about whether or not there's interest in us continuing to pursue that. If in fact there is, with the work that we've started with the calendar committee for the 2017-18 school year, we're currently working on 2 different calendars. One would be a September 1st start, so to say, that follows current state law. The other one would be an early start prior to September 1st, and depending on discussion and level of interest from the school board, we will continue to pursue both calendars and ultimately look for approval of both of those school calendars, not knowing really what DPI will allow. So with that said, in the administrative content, what I've done is I've really prepared, there really are 2 steps for us as a system, and one is to present this to the school board for consideration during a public meeting, and then once approved by the board, we would end up sending a letter to DPI, as well as the minutes of board approval of this to DPI for them to approve and give us exemption to start prior to September 1st. So what I did, I reached out to DPI and asked if there were any districts recently that have applied for this particular major construction exemption. She was able to provide one for me. That was completed last year. DPI did grant them the exemption because of the construction projects. So I really tried to model the letter after that, because that was something that DPI did approve, and it seemed pretty straightforward that if in fact we followed that model, DPI would also approve for Muskego, Norway, if there's interest. So with that said, certainly open to any questions.
Are we required to, if we submit the request and they grant it, are we required to do it then?
It's my understanding that no, we are not required to do that.
So what's our starting date for 17 now? Is it the 5th? Because the 1st is a Friday.
Friday, yeah, right. So there's actually a large number of districts in our area that are actually requesting, changes to the legislation just because of that. Like, if we give you a 4-day weekend over Labor Day, can you grant schools the opportunity to start prior to September 1st because of that September 1 date? So I believe that the calendar that the calendar committee is working on right now would be looking at, we want to get the days in as, right away. So September 1st may be the date that it does come forward for that, regular if we don't get the waiver.
So we'd start on the first
On
Monday,
a Friday.
3 off.
And then 3 days off. We had 2 days this year. It was September 1st was Thursday. And
So why the 24th?
oh, why the 24th, Jeff? What were some of the understandings about pushing it back for that full week?
Sure. So if we were to take a look at what our level of need would be for professional development in the summer, with our Summer Institute, as well as the number of professional days at the start of the year to be able to give building administrators time to be able to work through the work that they need to. In other words, just keep things the same as what they are this year for the same number of days. That would allow us to do that. Plus, it builds in what we know our families want, which is a Wednesday before Thanksgiving off. So we took a look at those particular days, and then it would allow us to be out on June 1st, have graduation then that weekend.
And to give that full week of additional time for the construction to occur. I mean, you could ask for a waiver for a couple of days, but that would only give a couple of days then in June, so. So essentially, what would happen is if, the board discusses, we'd come back for action on the waiver, but we wouldn't send the waiver in until the board would see then the 2 calendars which are projected for that first December meeting. So we would just know that we are going to ask for a waiver, bring back the 2 calendar for the board, and then there'd be discussion, and then the second December meeting, right, is...
Well, once we
approval.
approve the calendar, what we would do is we would send to DPI the board minutes, the letter, and also our calendar that was approved. So I would like to get that letter to DPI. I'm going to, of course, it would be signed by yourself, Rick, and then Kelly. But I would like to get that all the day after that board meeting, just so that
the board approves the calendars.
Correct. And the reason why is we would love to be able to, if in fact we want to move forward with this decision, to be able to communicate out to all of our staff and families as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's the key thing, and that's why I guess, let's just get it moving and make it this final decision. If we get that approval, if we want, I don't see any reason why not to at this next meeting, but there's no harm in just moving forward at this point.
So right now, we're waiting on the calendars to be finished.
We're waiting on their next meeting so we can approve it on the letter.
Well, you don't have it come until December.
Right. If the committee is ready on November 28th to bring forward the calendars along with the waiver, we could do them on the same day.
You can move it up and do it. You're going to get more support because I know there's concern about pushing.
We have both calendars done.
Okay, well then we can bring them forward together on November 28th, rather than doing them two separate.
I'd rather just get this moving so we can get as much advance notice because parents, there's some small windows for kids in certain activities, for vacations, and you want to get them in.
Or camps or whatever
Right.
else they're doing.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
Sure thing.
all right. Anything else on this? Hearing none, information follow-up.
Can we just step back for 1 second to
Sure.
budget?
Yeah.
So, Jeremiah was bringing up his list and talking about purchases and all this stuff, and hinting that he would request that we increase his operational, his capital.
His capital plan.
Yeah, by $150,000, which right now is funded in our operation budget, correct?
His capital is, yeah.
Right, so really what his budget is operational and capital together.
Right.
He estimates about $400,000, but if operational costs are better for the year, he moves it to capital and is able to take on projects.
So, not that it wasn't good information for us, but honestly, it's decisions you guys need to make.
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was understanding that correctly. I didn't know if these were requests that he was going to come back
To the board,
fund
no.
balance, or
No, I think
it
that-
sounded like operational. I'm like, well, that's not really our discussion anyways, because if you want to increase them by 150, and it comes from somewhere else.
Yeah, that would just be part of our year-based budget process.
Absolutely.
But I think he may have just been showing you those, so if they came forward, you would have more of a heads up. Those were on his radar.
Gotcha.
But yes, yes.
All right. Now information follow-up.
That was information.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to jump back to a different agenda item. All right. Hearing no other requests on that, moving on to item 10, vote for closed session. Should I read it? Doesn't matter. I will read it. Vote for closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.18 or 0.851C for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation over specific employees over which the board has jurisdiction, specifically DAPES contributions, superintendent contracts, and employee request, and Wisconsin statutes 19.85F for the purpose of considering financial, social, medical, or personal history of a student, specifically non-discrimination.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm not sure she can second that.
Yeah, you need that saying, yeah.
We need a different second.
I'll
Or-
second. All right.
We're going to need a different second. 'cause she can't.
I'll second, go ahead.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thanks, Ted, I think you came 2
We are in
hours ago.
closed session in 5 minutes.
Been here for 2 hours.
Where are we doing a closed session?
I believe it's room
We can do it here.
All right.
Oh, 406, oh, okay.
Okay, we're going to go do it in 406 in 5 minutes.
Okay.